Let me start with this, gently but clearly. If someone can ruin your mood in 30 seconds, they have access to something inside of you that is still unhealed. And I say that with compassion because here's the truth. The real problem is not them. If you can't see that clearly, you'll keep getting pulled into the same emotional loop, the same reactions, the same exhaustion. And today we're going to untangle that. I don't want you shut down. I don't want you cold. I want you calm, centered, unbothered, untouchable in your peace. Before we get into the heart of this video, I want to quickly introduce myself. I'm Janice. I'm a dream coach. I help you move through the deeper patterns in your life using dreams as guides. If you can take a quick second and pop a thumbs up as a beautiful energetic exchange, I would be ever so grateful. When someone mistreats you and it hits deep, it triggers something in you, it's rarely about the moment itself. It's about what the moment represents to you, the meaning that you have given to it. Maybe it represents, I'm not respected, I'm not chosen, I'm invisible, I'm too much, I'm not enough. Triggers are emotional time machines. They take you back to childhood dynamics or relationships or moments where your voice just didn't feel safe. And here's something I've noticed in dream work again and again. When someone is caught in these emotional loops, their dreams start reflecting it. They have chase dreams or dreams where they're trying to scream and no sound comes out, or dreams where they're ignored in a crowd, or you go back to school and you're unprepared for a test, or you can't even find the right building for your class. Dreams where teeth are falling out, or when you're trapped in a house or a building with no exit. These dreams, they are your inner helper uncovering your subconscious programming, that default pattern that's been running in the background for years. So when someone mistreats you in waking life, it activates. And without even realizing it, you start saying things to yourself like, I'm powerless, nobody truly sees me, it's not safe to express myself. You're not overreacting. You're just reliving something. And that's why logic alone doesn't fix it. There's a cost to you for staying triggered. It costs you mental clarity, emotional energy, self-trust and self-esteem, creativity, and sleep. You replay conversations instead of being present. You shrink yourself to avoid further conflict. You over-explain, overgive. You try to manage how other people perceive you. And the worst part is the person who triggered you is often moving on in 5 seconds, but you carry it for days. Everything I just said, I've been there, I've paid those tickets, and now I work with so many more beautiful, sensitive, intuitive people who absorb emotional energy like a sponge. Your sensitivity or empathy or even your past is not the problem. Your lack of boundaries and your attachment to the moment around the trigger is. Maybe you never learned how to be comfortable around setting and enforcing boundaries. That's totally okay because all you really lack is practice. You don't automatically know how to do calculus, you practice. Boundaries are the same way. When you feel triggered, what you are programmed to do is likely to be your default reaction. Instead, do this: detach and respond, and I'll tell you how. First, if you think detachment means emotional coldness, it doesn't. It's not about being emotionally numb or being dismissive or avoiding conflict or pretending like you don't care. True detachment means I see your behavior and I understand it's about you and I choose not to internalize. You don't react and you also don't guard yourself when you're detached in a healthy way. You don't feel the urge to prove yourself. You don't feel the urge to explain yourself into exhaustion, and you don't feel like you need to win an argument. You simply observe and choose your response. Let's practice. Imagine a person who typically triggers you, a partner, a parent, a boss, even a child or a friend or a guy on the subway. I find it's easier to practice with someone who you have less attachment to. Okay, so a triggering moment happens. Say you've told your mom that you don't feel like she's listening, and it's just like when you were a kid, she never truly listened. And she says, I guess I'm just a terrible parent then. She's clearly shifting the focus from your concern and trying to make it about managing her emotions. But this activates a core wound in you. So you may not hear it clearly. You immediately go into a feeling, maybe guilt, like, oh my God, now I hurt my mom. She's upset and it's my fault. Or self-doubt, like, why couldn't I just let it be? It doesn't matter anyway. Or even anxiety, like, well, now it's not safe. This whole thing is going to blow up. So step one, just practice noticing that shift. Take mental note. Seriously, just seeing this in yourself is huge. It allows you to pause and it interrupts that automatic spiral. Step two, leave the past and come into the present. Ask yourself, what did this make me feel about myself? Not why are they like this? Why does she always do this to me? Because that's you living in the past. So ask yourself instead, what belief did this activate in me? Is it that I'm unworthy, I'm unseen or unheard, I'm unloved, I'm disrespected? Say this to yourself. This definitely feels familiar because it is, but this is not my childhood. This is not that old relationship. This is now. This one simple sentence really reins in that self-sabotaging, looping thought pattern. I would literally memorize this or make it your own and have it in your back pocket because you never know when you'll have the opportunity to practice detaching and responding. Okay, step three, let go of the rope. You are holding on to a leash, a rope, a chain that is attached to them, those who trigger you. You may be expecting that they live up to your expectation of them. Likely they will not. They've got their own stuff to deal with, and so do you. So visualizing letting go of your hold on them, literally seeing yourself let go of a chain or a rope and see it disintegrate and disappear. Remember, it's really about you. Let go, let them be free of your hold. This is powerful work, especially for empathic or intuitive people. You will feel the energy returning to you. If you truly want to stop being triggered, you have to stop chasing emotional resolution from the wrong people. Some people will never validate you. They will never see you clearly. They're operating from their own trauma loops. Your peace cannot depend on their evolution. The shift happens when you move from why did they do that to me to what part of me still feels that I deserve this. Step four, respond from alignment. Going back to that example, you have disrupted your immediate reaction by simply taking note of the shift within yourself. So now you choose a response instead of a reaction. Sometimes a response is a boundary. And it doesn't always have to be verbalized, but I find that when you're practicing, it's very powerful for you to say what your boundary is. It also makes it crystal clear and doesn't leave any room for guessing or excuses. So, Mom, I love you, and right now we are talking about how I feel. After that, I'm happy to talk about how you feel that you're a terrible parent, but I want you to listen right now. If you interrupt me again, I'm leaving the conversation and we can come back to it in a week. Now, you will need to reinforce the boundary if she interrupts or shifts the focus in any way. So you will need to leave the conversation and remind her about it in a week. Your feelings and concerns are important enough to do this. They are not trivial, even if your programming is telling you just to forget it. It might be hard at first. Stick with it It's hard because you never learned, and now you are. Have a few cookie cutter responses up your sleeve in case you're not good at thinking on your feet. One of my favorites is, yeah, totally. Or, that's an interesting thing to say. Or if you struggle with saying no, just say, no thanks. I know this sounds simple, but if you don't know how to have boundaries, this is actually a tough one and you have to practice it. Right now, it's not about being perfect or really slam dunking a well thought out poetic response. That's not reality. Real life looks messy and imperfect. Boundaries are not walls, they are filters. You decide who gets access, who gets an explanation, who gets emotional intimacy. And here's something important. You can be kind and boundaried at the same time. You can say, that doesn't work for me. I'm not available for that. I'm going to step away from this conversation. When you stop reacting, people who thrive on reaction lose interest and fade away. When you stop over explaining, manipulators lose leverage. Your nervous system becomes steady, your dreams become calmer, your energy returns to you. And that's when you truly become unbothered, not because you don't have feelings, but because you no longer attach your worth to other people's behavior. Let's get deeper into dreams for a moment, because if you're someone who repeatedly dreams of being chased, being late, being locked out, losing your phone, having your partner ignore you, being exposed or embarrassed, these dreams often mirror emotional entanglement and triggers. So, for example, chase dreams often happen when you're avoiding confrontation in waking life. Teeth falling out dreams often correlate with suppressed communication. Being ignored in a dream, that's usually someone who feels unseen in a relationship. Being trapped or not being able to get out of a place is usually about being stuck in an emotional pattern. And here's a classic dream that I've had many times: going through a warehouse, going on different paths, and always being met by some crazy obstacle or dead end. Your dreams are trying to free you. They are saying you don't need to keep reliving this. And when you start doing detachment work consciously, those dreams shift. The chase stops, you find a door, your voice works, you confront the person in the dream instead of running. That's healing. If you are listening to this and thinking, I know I'm in an emotional loop, I keep attracting the same dynamic, my dreams are intense and repetitive, I'm exhausted from being triggered, you can benefit from doing deeper work with me. And that's exactly what we do inside Dream Coaching. If this resonates with you, I invite you to book a free discovery session with me to see if dream work coaching is for you at gentlehealingdreams.com. In that session, we'll explore the emotional patterns you're stuck in and what your dreams are communicating. You do not have to keep reliving the same pattern, the same emotional triggers in different forms. You can detach, you can feel safe in yourself, you can stop being pulled into other people's chaos. And once you truly understand your subconscious hooks, you become untouchable in a way that is soft, grounded, and powerful. Once again, thanks for dreaming with me. And until we meet again, may your nights be rich with guidance and your mornings full of clarity.